The Indiana Bears of Chicago score the most points in NFL history in 2026.
It wouldn't be that shocking if they do.
It's apparently what Ben Johnson wants to do. That he's on record. He's put it out there.
Maybe if
That
they,
is what
maybe,
they want.
maybe if he stayed in Detroit, that would have been good. Maybe they would have done it then.
It's an interesting position there, and then just a little jab at their new arena, in Indiana. They're still going to be Chicago, of course, but yeah. So we're back here for another preview.
Yeah,
NFC North, definitely, I think one of the best divisions in football. I
yeah,
think we're going to see all four teams compete. It's fun to see Chicago being relevant because there's
yeah.
been years where they haven't been. But Ben Johnson taking over, Caleb Williams, there's a lot to be excited about. I don't think last year was a fluke. So let's jump in. How do you feel about the Bears, Sam?
I'm excited. They've got a lot of talent just all around the board. Like last year, you have these young guys like Loveland, Manungai, Williams. All these guys just hitting on another level we didn't expect them to. Like you had the first year with Williams, he wasn't good. No one really thought much of him. But going into his second year with his new offense, it clicked, and they got a lot done.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot that looks good. I think if we start with the coaching, Ben Johnson, I think they really hit the nail on the head. I think they made a great choice there, stealing them from their division rival, the Lions. And so it kind of was like a win-win. Like on one side, you get a great coach, but you also take that away from the Lions too.
Hey man,
So you help your team, you hurt them, like even better in the eyes of Bears and their fans. I like what he's done, you know?
yeah. Like I said, they've got a lot of talent. They got rid of DJ Moore, so you'd think the wide receiver room would be looking a little worse, but they've actually built it up a bit. Where it's going to be interesting to see what they
Hmm.
can do. You have one of the best tight end groups in football right now.
Yeah, so let's talk about the offense. I think we both agree Ben Johnson's a good coach. Not much else really
Yeah,
needs to be said there. I think he's going to be a positive for the team. So like you said, if we shift over to offense, the wide receivers, I think the way that football is these days is one of the first positions you have to look at.
yeah. So they've got Burden, they've got Adunze, I think. They've
I
got
think it's Odunze, yeah.
Adunze. They got a lot of guys that could definitely have a heck of a season.
You
I
know,
think we're gonna see a little bit of a breakout from some of these guys. It'll definitely be interesting.
yeah, and so I think like Odunze was the first round pick. So he's the guy that they expected to be the number one, and maybe he will be. Maybe he will. But I kind of like, and I think a lot of people do, like Luther Burden and the way that he approaches the game. It's just like he wants to be the best and he's willing to do what needs to be done
Yeah.
to get there. Interesting that they traded DJ Moore.
Yeah, he's getting old and he hasn't really had that good of a season with Chicago. Like he maybe had one or two, but
Hmm.
he didn't really have that good of a year last year.
Yeah, for an offense under Ben Johnson, DJ Moore, like his numbers didn't go up. Like they went down a little bit, and so that was an interesting situation there. What do you think about Khalif Raymond? He was
Traitor,
on the Lions.
traitor, traitor, traitor. Nothing else to say to him.
So, I mean, Ben Johnson must like him to bring him over. Like he must have saw
Traitors.
something in him that he thought there. But yeah, I think that the Bears have some wide receivers, which hasn't always been the case. And then the big thing here is quarterback. That's what makes a team successful over like the course of seasons. Like if you have a franchise quarterback,
Didn't Will Levis get the Titans to the AFC Championship?
but if you've got a good quarterback, you can consistently win. You don't have like one flash in the pan season where everything goes right and you make the playoffs. If you have a really good quarterback, then you're always competitive. Look at Josh Allen, look at Lamar Jackson. Even though they haven't won a Super Bowl, like they've been winning franchises because of those quarterbacks. So I think, and I have not always been a Caleb Williams fan. Like he came out number one out of USC. He really had a different approach than a lot of quarterbacks. I wasn't
Dad wanted JJ
convinced of his
McCarthy.
maturity, but I think things aligned with having Ben Johnson. I think if Ben Johnson didn't come there, maybe Caleb Williams would have been a bust. Maybe he would have still turned into something. But I think Ben Johnson gets the most out of him, and
Yeah,
we're seeing the potential come to fruition.
his arm talent, he's quick with it. Like he's good, he can get it far, and he's really good with running. He's one of the best like running QBs I've really ever seen in like recent memory. Like if there's a open space for him, he's gonna use it, and he's gonna get a lot of yards. He's kind of elusive, and he's just a very good QB with all of that. He has some weaknesses, yeah, but he's so like just fun to watch. Like he's just slinging it.
Would you take him over Jared Goff?
No,
All right. Just a little question there, but yeah, I think that I think he's fun to watch the way he can extend plays and just kind of turn negative plays into big plays,
yeah, like we
like
saw
few
in
plays can.
that divisional, that was a crazy play that got them the win there. There's just a lot that Williams can do, and he's always just fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see a lot of him. I don't know if he's going to be the best in his class, but he's definitely going to be top two in my opinion.
Another thing that the NFC North does, you're north, you have the cold, you have the wind, especially Chicago,
The Windy
legendary,
City,
the Windy City, right? So you got to have a running game, and that starts with the line. And so, like
DeAndre
you were
Swift.
just saying, they have a good
Yeah,
offensive line.
they really gave the running backs a lot of chances, and they gave like Caleb Williams. They gave him a lot of time to just throw it and get him a lot of yards just rushing. Like they were really good at blocking from what I've seen.
Yeah,
They might have had a few games where it was like, ooh, but they probably played like a good D line.
yeah, they definitely wanted the point of contact. And so you have the line, you've got Swift and Monangai. Do you think Swift is going to be like the number one featured back? You think they're going to split carries? How do you feel about this running back room that the Bears have?
The Windy City has someone named Swift as their running back one. I think he's gonna start. He is. I'm not that big of a fan of the guy, but he had a decent year last year when he was healthy, and I don't think he's gonna be around with them that long. Because I think Manungai, what we saw from him, that was enough to show that he has a big chance. But I don't. I think Swift is the guy right now.
Yeah, I mean, Swift, I think he's pretty underrated. Like when you talk running backs, he's not usually a guy that gets mentioned, but I think he's a solid part of what the Bears do. And then Monangai, I didn't know him really before last year, so he kind of surprised me. I remember hearing more, Roshan Johnson in short goal line situations and stuff like that. But Monangai, I think, really found a lot of success and gives them that much more depth, which I think is something that's so important to have. And let's not forget the tight ends. Like we talked about wide receivers, but their biggest receiving threat might be Colston Loveland, the way he came on the second half of the season.
Yeah, you have Colston Loveland, who is got amazing hands, and then you have Cole Kmet, which is a great complementary piece to add to Loveland.
Hmm.
There's just a lot that could go right with this team.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we've talked offense. The Bears, they're most known, like their best teams are known for their defense. Like the
Yeah,
85 Bears, one of the best defenses in the history of the league. So when we look at the Bears defense here, how do you feel about it?
I'm I'm a little optimistic. They've got a lot of things that like, I don't know if it's gonna work. Like, they got that rookie in the first round. We'll see what he can do. But I was excited to see what Kobe Bryant could do, but now he's out. I think they got Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
They've been making some moves. Nothing
right.
really that splashy though.
Yeah, they brought him in for some depth. They brought like Beanie Bishop in for some depth. Those guys are just going to battle for spots, really. But like biggest signing, like you said, Kobe Bryant injured already, so that's disappointing. You think you have a strength that is taken away before the season even starts. But you signed Devin Bush as your middle linebacker. I think that's going to have an immediate impact. I mean, you have Montez Sweat back there. the rookie Dylan Thieneman. There's
There's a lot that'll be
yeah,
interesting to see how they can perform.
they've
And
got
as a UFL follower, they also got two UFL players. One does play on offense and special teams, but they got Tony Fields the second from the
mhm.
Aviators,
and
who was second in the league for tackles, 78.
and if I'm not wrong, he was a Mountaineer before that.
And he was the Cleveland Browns for 4 years.
So yeah, that guy is one that we've really seen throughout the years and enjoyed. So offense that has potential to be top 10. I mean, Ben Johnson wants it to be the best in the history of the league. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Actually, you
Or
need a few more weapons.
yeah, I'm not sure they're even a top five, but I mean that's nice to hear that that's what he's going to aim for. That's the way he's going
Yeah,
to coach and play the game.
that's how you should
Um,
aim every season.
so I think we covered what the team is. If we look at the schedule, how do you see those games?
They've got a lot of interesting games where it could really go either way.
Mhm,
But like to start, they play the Panthers. I think they get a win there. The Panthers, they're really a hit or miss team every year.
mhm.
They beat the Vikings. I think they lose to the Eagles. I
I
think the
think they might win
Eagles.
that one.
I think there's gonna be a few games where they could win, but they're gonna lose them. I think that's one of them.
Mhm.
And then the Jets, I think they win that. I think they lose to the Packers.
I think they lose to the Packers there.
I think they beat the Falcons. I think they lose to the Patriots at home. I think they lose to the Seahawks as the away team.
Those two games I think are the toughest two back to back.
Yeah. And I think they beat the Bucks at home. They
Yeah.
beat the Saints.
Mhm.
I think they lose to the Lions, beat the Jags, beat the Dolphins, lose to the Bills, beat the Packers at home, beat the Lions at home, and beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I think they lose Bills, Lions, Packers, Patriots, Seahawks, and Eagles. Maybe switch one of those out or something.
Yeah,
But I feel like around 12 and 5 or 11 and 6 is how they're gonna finish.
it's an interesting mix because you have some really tough games. You play both teams that played in the Super Bowl last year, Patriots and Seahawks. You play the Jags. You play your own division. So those are all tough games, and the Eagles too. And then on the flip side of that, you get some that are a lot easier. You play the NFC South, so you're playing the Bucks, the Saints, the
Saints,
Panthers,
Falcons.
Falcons. Like those are four games right there that they could win. You
Unless they
play
lose to the Saints.
the AFC East, so that's two tough ones, two easy ones. So I mean, they should be beating
I think
the
they make the
Jets and the
playoffs.
Dolphins. Yeah,
I think they either get that one seed in the North or they get the second. And either way, I think they're definitely gonna be competitive
yeah,
no matter what. Their defense last year was lacking. It was a lot of shootouts. Um, like they had that one game where they allowed like 50 against the Lions in like week 2. But if their offense can keep up, I think they'll have a lot of good games that they're
yeah.
gonna stay in.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely see them in the playoffs. They're my pick to win the NFC North, so back-to-back NFC North champions. And then one thing that you mentioned, if they have a running game, one of the best things about having a good running game, it eats up the clock. And when you eat up the clock, you're keeping the other team's offense off the
I
field.
wouldn't say a good running game, but it's
I think
definitely
they
it's
do.
definitely not bad.
I think they have a good running game. And so I think they're pretty well balanced because obviously Caleb Williams is going to throw the ball. He's got a lot of threats, and they're not going to be shy about passing. But I think they have a good running game too. And so if they can put up points and get a lead, then they can run the ball and eat up the clock. They can keep the other offense off the field. With that, when the other offense is off the field, your defense is resting. So all that is good. The If your defense is out there a lot, they get tired, they give up points, it turns into a shootout. Like all of a sudden, what could be an easy victory is like who can be the first to 40 points.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I think that we're in store for a really great season from the Bears.
and the whole
So
NFL.
a lot to enjoy from them this season, I think.
Yeah, but
All,
I think that does it.
all right, we'll wrap it up here. We'll come back. You want to do the Packers or the Vikings
I think
next?
Packers is next.
All right, so here are the next couple of days, we'll have the Packers.
Yep.